Good day. This is Sean Carson, your investment realtor. And I wanted to make sure I had an opportunity to comment on some new legislation that's massive to buyers and sellers that is coming from the BC government to protect the interests of tenants. Now, just to quickly outline in regards to why are these changes made is that it's ultimately to create more of a safe tenancy and some predictability and to make sure that the tenants are operating in a fair environment. And what would be an unfair environment? Well, what they're looking to protect from is bad faith evictions, unfair rent hikes, and limit any other way in which landlords may gain an advantage and unfair environment for tenants. So this affects really two main parties in the transaction is buyers and sellers. And so you're probably asking yourself, well, these are tenants. Why is this affecting me? I'm a buyer. Well, if you're looking to purchase a property and it's a tenanted property, it's going to affect your timelines. So immediately as you're looking for a property, we need to clearly identify what are your timelines. If you need a home inside of 60 or 90 days, a tenanted property could create some problems in regards to being able to achieve those dates. And so your next question should be, well, how do I know if a property is tenanted or not? And you're not going to be able to see that in the front end in regards to an MLS listing. And just like any other listing that you catch some interest in, let me know. And as per what I'll take a look at previously is always the building itself, some of the restrictions it may have, recent sales to identify is the price fair and as far as market value. But now I'm also looking at what the current possession is and if it's owner occupied or tenant. So let me know and I can take a look at what that occupancy is like. Now, a realtor tip that we're looking at is that if you do need to move in inside that 4 months, there is a possibility that that can happen. At the end of the day, any two parties to a contract can amend and change that contract as long as both agree to it. And there's a document that we use. It's called a mutual agreement to end tenancy. Now, I need to preface this is that your realtor, we're limited in regards to the advice that we can give as we're not licensed property managers. So at this point, I'd highly recommend, and I want to ensure that there's a property manager involved in the transaction to make sure that the tenant and the seller are given proper advice in regards to making sure that proper notice is given and that we're not going to have complications further down in the acquisition. Now, for sellers, how is this going to affect? Well, another component of the legislation changes is the requirement and mandatory use of a new web portal when giving notice for landlord and personal use. And so logging into that portal, there's going to be information that needs to be given in regards to who is the tenant moving in and just create some more transparency just to make sure that the landlords and the seller are acting in good faith. Now, if there's a failure for that seller and landlord to operate in good faith, number one, they're looking at fines and a penalty in compensation to the tenant of up to 12 times the monthly rent. And in addition to that, they're also looking at $5,000 fines. So this is certainly an area in regards to a seller and landlord to make sure that you go through the process properly. And from it, again, your realtor advice at this point is to make sure you're working with a property manager. Once again, certainly worth the fee. If you haven't been paying or working with a property manager, this fee is going to be integral as they're going to be able to coordinate with all the realtors involved to ensure that the dates required for notice and possession dates are going to be achieved, that the documentation is presented, signed in a timely fashion. And at the end of the day, this is going to be your insurance to make sure we can make this deal happen. Now, another ultimate reason, it comes back to timeline as well, just like buyers. If you're looking at a fixed date that you need and want the proceeds of the sale, we're going to want to consider then maybe getting this on the market a bit earlier than expected to make sure that if we need that 4 month runway and the tenant needs it, that we're able to achieve exactly what you're looking for timeline. Now, at the bottom here, I've got a link that goes to, and definitely take a look. There's more legislated amendments. What I've highlighted is a few of the key ones. So this link will take you there. And when the web portal is live on July 18th, here's a link that will take you to a page to be able to log into that portal. Any questions, let me know. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.